Good afternoon, people. And we're back sooner than you expected, but the Armoury TV is back. Who would have thought it? Eh? We just finished a stream, and within 20 minutes or so, Arteta gets named manager of the month for September. So we're going
August.
to react to it. I've got my guy Silver Fox in the building. Let's do it. Guess who's back? Mm, back again. Armory's back. Tell your friends. Mm. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? What's going on, Mr. Silver Fox?
Well, it's
Long
been a
time
while.
no see. Long time no see, mate.
It's been a while, that's for
It has.
sure.
It has been a while. But yeah, so while we're back again, um, so we just jumped off a stream. We just done the preview, and just like clockwork, it is announced Arteta was manager of the month for September.
August.
5 wins out. August, sorry, August. Losing track of everything. 5 wins out of 5. Let's run through the quick game. So we beat Palace 2-0 on the opening day at Selhurst Park. Then a home win against Leicester 4-2. Then away to Bournemouth 1-3-0. At home to Fulham 2-1 win. And at home to Villa 2-1 win. So there are your 5 games. He's the only team that won 5 out of 5. Perfect record in August. Does he deserve manager of the month, Mr. Silver Fox?
Yeah, fully deserved. Like you said, five wins out of 5 for August. And look, you ask rival fans, or even ask some of our fans, if they said we'd win 5 games out of the first 5, probably would have got laughed at.
Mm.
We said repeatedly how when we played Palace first game of the season, and even the Palace fans themselves, they were super confident going into that game. They thought they had it won
Yeah,
already, and we controlled it defensively. Uh, they're all very different wins as well. If
yeah.
you think about it, so you had that one with Palace was quite defensive, and we caught them on the break, and then the first one was obviously from the set piece. You go to Leicester, the Leicester game. We were on the front foot for most of the game,
Mhm.
felt controlled. Even when they scored the 2 goals, we went straight back up and scored. What was after that one? Remind me.
So Bournemouth away.
Bournemouth away. That was controlled. We didn't even get out of first gear. Um, that was pretty straightforward. And then after that
Then
one, it would have
Fulham.
been Fulham. That was a different game. Again, they'd scored, but we'd scored straight after again.
Mm.
All very different, and there was a different threat in Mitrovic who was causing chaos, with our defence, but we dealt with it. Look, they held Liverpool, didn't they, as well in the first game of
Mhm.
the season? So it's all well and good these welfares, but yeah, who did you play? Who did you play? But
Yeah. The
who
thing is,
did the other team play?
Marco Silva from Fulham was in the race to win manager month. So I think there was 4 managers,
Yeah,
4 or 5. No, it was 5. It was Arteta, Guardiola, Conte, Potter, and Silva. So he had done enough. He'd done really well to get into the ranking. So you say you only beat Fulham, but actually their manager was in the ranking for manager of the
Absolutely,
month. So it kind of shows you
absolutely,
what start of the season they had. Again, he's in there with your Peps, your Contes. Do you know what I mean? Our guy Arteta. Um, so yeah, now like you're saying, I think he deserves it. Again, on paper, yes, it looks like 5 winnable games, but football's not played on paper. You
no,
still have to go out there and beat these teams, and there is no easy games in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Even this year, again, the teams that have come up look strong. Again, we're talking about Fulham. Nottingham Forest has spent heavy. I think the only team which really maybe a bit got to struggle a bit is Bournemouth. However,
yeah.
they still beaten Villa. Do you know what I mean? They started better than what some teams have started in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
They beat
So
Forest as well, didn't they? So yeah, no,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So it's not a cut and dry them kind of game. So yeah, Arteta's done well to win the 5 games. Again, the only manager to do it. You thought Pep would have got it, but they stumbled against Newcastle.
Yeah.
And obviously, Conte has had a good month as well. To be fair, he's unbeaten, taking draws against Chelsea and West Ham. So again, his record's not bad. But yeah, I think winning 5 out of 5 is easier said than done. So I think a lot of credit's got to go to Arteta for that and the way the team's responded to him. In terms of Arteta, like, what's your thoughts kind of on pre-season? I know we kind of spoke about these things before, but we are going into a new kind of time of Arteta, isn't it? Where
You're
this is
starting.
this is his team now.
Yeah, you're starting to see his team now.
You can't.
His
And obviously
idea.
watching the documentary. Yeah, and watching the documentary, like, what's your thoughts on him? Because again, that changed. I think it must change a lot of fans' perspective on him and how he
Yeah,
is. And
I think it did. I think it did. You know, we learned a lot more about him, and I was just seeing someone's popped up. So tell you what, bring
yeah,
him in. Bring
let's
him
bring
in.
him in.
Go on.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
now
it's
There
my
he is.
brother from another mother. What are you saying, brother? Long time.
my people,
Yes.
my people. I'm good, man. Just sitting on manager of the month and that. You know what I'm saying? Like casual, light work, little 5 out of 5 victories. You know what I mean?
I
We're
hear that.
good,
So
bro. We're good out here.
so do you think he deserved it? Again, we've gone through some of the other records. I think Graham Potter had a very good month, and again, considering what he's working with
hmm
to kind of have Brighton where he's got them, he had a fantastic month. Conte 2 game unbeaten in the month, drew 2, which is against West Ham and Chelsea, which isn't a bad thing to draw against them. And obviously Pep drew against Newcastle, and the other surprise nomination was Marco Silva from Fulham. So as much as people say you beat Fulham, actually their manager was in the hunt for manager of the month. So again, not an easy game. So do you think Arteta was deserving out of it? The only manager to play 5, win 5.
Out of everything you said to me, I never heard you say 5 out of 5 for any of them, man. So boy, that says that's all that I need to say on the topic. Really, all that propaganda. He did it at Brighton and Fulham. No, 5 wins out of 5. What more could you ask for? Perfect start.
I hear that. I hear that. So I'm just asking Tony, what's his take on after watching the documentary, the pre-season, and the start of the season? Obviously, we've lost 1 game now against United, but what's your thoughts on Arteta? What do you think he can achieve with this team? Like, it's not by luck. Do you know what I mean? How we're playing at the moment now. This is Arteta's vision. He's got the players and he wants.
You see the Arteta thing, yeah, that and not a lot of people are accepting is the fact that saying stuff like he's gonna take us to a league title, for example, is not a comment that anyone can really make because he's not been in the game long enough to have done like a title challenge or whatever. So for me to go as far as to say that, I can't. But what I can say is from the documentary, I was already Arteta in, but I'm behind him a lot more because you can see the guy cares, man. He's really working, isn't it? He's really trying. And to be honest, my only issue with Arteta has never actually really been with Arteta. It's been with the fact that they picked Arteta for what was needed at Arsenal. That was my issue because I believe at the time there was more experienced people. But what's happening is Arteta is learning on the job. So he's better this season than he was last season because he learned from something. That situation against Man United, I don't think it will happen again because he learned. Okay, I understand. I need to manage the game, but I can't see him doing it again in another game this season, personally. So, for me, the trajectory I expected for Arteta, he's on it right now because I expected top 6 last season. He has to get top 4 this season, and then next season, I'm not necessarily saying a title challenge, but we need to look like an established Champions League team again. Like a team that, okay, everyone's like, oh yeah, they're going to get top 4. That's a given. Let's see what else they can do. I want to become that Arsenal again rather than trying to get into the top 4. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. What about you, Silva? So we did kind of start with you that question, and obviously Nigel come in. So
Yeah,
what's your thoughts?
he's taking the words right out of my mouth there. We learned a lot during the documentaries, you know, and his staff and his staff involved as well. Obviously, credit has to go to them as well. And like I said, we're starting to see his team now, his idea of his team. He's got players that are with his ideas, with his philosophies, and want to play for him. And when you've got players that want to play for you, it's going to go well for you. And I agree with Nigel there when you talk about the Man United game. He's going to learn from that. I reckon I do believe he lost us the game there, especially those 3 changes, which were, I mean, they were strange, weren't they? Let's have it right. But I think what he was doing there, and I think it was Nigel that pointed it out in one of the match reviews, although it was on this channel, on his channel, whatever. But he was going for it. That's what he was doing. He's like, right, okay, I'm just going to throw everything at him, and you don't do that against Man United.
But you know, I quite like that.
Oh, yeah, I do.
It's an arrogance and it's a confidence, but what is that telling your team? Like long term, yes, it didn't work this time, but that's saying I believe in you lot. We're better than them.
Yeah.
Like to go to Old Trafford and get back in at 1-0 and say, actually, we're coming at you. Like it's quite refreshing, and that's what I was saying on the earlier stream where we're not going to games to play for the draw. Like yes, sometimes you've got to take the draw, and later on in the season, if we're battling for top 4 of United, and you're saying right, go there and just don't get beat. Do you know what I mean? It changes the mindset, but I think it's a reflection of the mindset we've got. And again, you watch Chelsea, you watch not even Chelsea, you watch Liverpool, you watch City. They're coming at you home or away. They're going to come for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
We're trying to, so I think it's a good thing. Like it's a good thing, and I do agree with what you guys are saying about where he is in time of the rebuild. And I think what's going to be interesting is it's weird to say I don't want to see us lose one of our top players, but I think it's going to be nice if we do ever sell one and they go for top money, because I think that is what's being understated in Arteta's rebuild. It's not about just building this 15 players and go and challenge or make you top 4 in Tottenham doing it, bringing in Casemiro at 30 years old. And again, you're going to stumble into the same problems time and time as well. Of great successful couple of years under Klopp, but now we're starting to see the wheels maybe falling off, and not he hasn't done the rebuild very well. So he's got a good couple of young players in, but not enough. And you're seeing the legs start to go behind players. Now, when you try and sell some of them players, you're not going to get much money for them. So a rebuild will be in 2-3 years when he decides, okay, this one can go. And if it is a 90 mil, 100 mil, 110 mil comes in for a player, and now we can start buying better players again. Do you know what I mean? So rather than buying your 15, 20 mils, we should be buying 60, 70 mil players because we're turning over big money. And I think that's a part of the rebuild, which is very understated. Like the markup on all them players is going to be massive. So he's going to take some flack now. Oh, you spent 200 mil. What have you won? Blah, blah. But actually, in 5 years' time, when you are now selling and making big money on players, all of a sudden do you know what I mean? It's going to, whoever the manager is, there might not be Arteta, but the next manager now has something to work with in terms of, do you know what I mean? Being able to sell players for a good profit, bring in other players and keep building this team. And I think that is a major part of the rebuild no one's talking about enough. And he's had to take bullets in order to put Arsenal in a better position long term. Crossed, it's going to work out well for him. We got Munzi here from the United agenda, guys. Where's Bobby? Big up, lads. You don't need a lot of better players. This guy here talking a lot.
1 minute against us, his chest is out.
Yeah, I know.
Leave him, bro. Leave him. That's what changed the whole thing, bro.
You know the difference is, you remember when we beat Chelsea 2-1 by just dirty snatch and grab, part of the bus tactics, and I couldn't get on the stream and be happy with that because I was like, the football's horrendous. These man attacking win, like that's the easiest thing to coach in football. It's the easiest thing to coach. And I said Arteta's done that. When he came in, he just sorted the defense out and won himself a trophy. So Ten Hag, win yourself a trophy the first season and then start rebuilding it. Like, so we'll see. Munzi's here. He's saying, great rebuild. You still can't beat us. It's a long-term game.
He's looking up on us, man.
Season, bro.
Yeah, not part of the man. Oh, you're not. Sorry, Munzi. I didn't realize you wasn't part of the agenda, but you're a United fan anyway, so you all one big dirty stinking family, ain't you? So no, I hope you're well there, bro. James is confident. He said we're going to get top 4.
Yeah, we are.
Do you think Arteta can win another manager of the month award this season? Nigel, what are you saying?
Boy, I shouldn't see why not, man. There's a couple of interesting months between now and the end of the season, but what's going to be interesting is to see how everybody looks after the World Cup, though.
Yeah,
that's what's going to be so interesting. Having that kind of break, but not a break, because they've still been playing the majority of the players, but then to come back. So even if even though people are making a lot of predictions now, like the World Cup's going to change some scenarios, bro. Like 100%. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah. And do you think business will get done in January?
Oh yeah. Some stupid business as well because of the World Cup. Some dumb business. Yeah.
Well, in terms of Arsenal, though, do you see? Because again, I think he's probably looked at it right. We can get to Christmas because then Europa League games, we can win the first 2 or 3. The next 3, you can really just play kids in that, so you can really help your squad out. Obviously, we went for that midfielder, we didn't get him. Do you think we go back in for Douglas Luiz, or do you think we go and rebuild? Because again, second half of this season, now you're talking business end of Europa rotating that, so you need that squad of everyone's at a similar level. Do you know what I mean? To go and compete in that competition for the second half of it.
I personally think we do go into the window in January, strangely, because of the World Cup and because that we were trying to do something towards the back end of the window. I believe the board will weigh up how all the players are looking, fitness levels. Obviously, Partey will be at the World Cup, so we don't know how he's going to come back. So I personally do see us doing 2 deals in January. I think one might be a loan, but I see us definitely looking to do like 2 deals. I'm intrigued to see what we do with Marquinhos as well, because if he goes on loan, then I'm 1,000% sure we get a winger in. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it'll be crazy not to.
I hear that. What about you, Silver Fox? You thinking
I
we're going to be active?
I think we'll probably revisit the Douglas Luiz thing. I think he made it pretty clear that he wanted to move. And it's logical, and it's not going to cost a lot as well. His price will go down by January, because we really need that cover, especially for Partey. We all know
position plays a. Do you think? Yeah. Do you think where we're sitting in the table makes a difference as well? Like if we're say really in that hunt, like we're in that top 4, and it's like actually we just say we dropped off and we're 5th, and they might say hold off to the end of the season. We might. Do you know what I mean? Do you think that makes a big difference?
Yeah,
I remember years gone by, like
that would impact. That would definitely impact for me. To say if we are still in the top 4, or where we are right now, maybe a little bit easier. But yeah, look, we just have to wait and see. I honestly think we do really need to get something done in January, maybe 2 or 3 more signings. You don't know how people are going to come up from the World Cup. You don't, and obviously the games in the Europa League should be qualified going to get a lot tougher. So we definitely get that depth.
And I think what Nigel's saying with Marquinhos, my plan for him this year would have been anyway keep him till January, then loan him, because them Europa League games, do you know what I mean? It's a bit easier, so he can play them now. But after that, he might not get as much minutes, so it's pointless wasting him just sitting there. He needs to go and play first.
He might even come good, and so
Yeah, you never know. He could do a Martinelli, but again, what I do like is they are looking after the development of these young players. It's not just about yes, he could sit there. I remember Bobby said earlier about Beerif or Balogun should have stayed at the club to provide a bit more depth. But what Balogun's gone and done first, imagine him just sitting on the bench, not coming off the bench in England. Like that's 5 weeks of his time wasted. Now I'm looking at him thinking, next year he might be able to integrate just from his a 5-week loan spell. Whereas sitting on the bench, we're then questioning, is he going to be good enough? Blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? So it is important we do let these boys go out and play football and get them ready, because you've seen what's happened with your Salibas, your Smith Rowes when they've come back and they've matured and they look ready. So I think they are looking at the long-term vision sometimes rather than the short-term, even though it might cost Arteta now in terms of fan reactions or losing some games. But the long-term is going to be more beneficial for them. So but I'm hoping there should be some business done in January, most definitely.
It'll be stupid not to be fair.
So let's talk about next month, because it is a hectic schedule. Let me read this out for you. So we're in September, so we're talking Brentford this weekend. Well, let's go straight to October. Actually, there's no point looking at September because it's almost done. But Tottenham, we look at Premier League, we won't worry about Europa. Liverpool, Leeds, the City game's been postponed, so we got Southampton and then Nottingham Forest.
If he gets 5 wins in September and in October, just give him manager of the year.
What's the odds on it, Tony? You're in the bench. What's the odds? What's the odds on that? Do you reckon? 5 wins in October with Liverpool and Tottenham being in there.
Oh, it's going to be big, isn't it? Thing is, though, those 2 games are at home, so it won't be as big as you think. But
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, look, I honestly think on our day we can beat them at home, especially.
Yeah. What would you say is a good return in that period? So it's 5 games again
5 games.
in October. Just said 2 at home against Liverpool, Spurs, and then we're away to Southampton, which is notoriously a hard ground for us.
True.
Home to Forest, and what was the other one? Away to Leeds. So 3 home games, 2 away. What would you What would you be happy with taking from that?
11.
I'll go to Nigel. I'll go to Silver's first. So you're going 2 draws and 3 wins.
Yeah, I think we'll beat Spurs because they don't look they're getting results, but they don't look good. They don't look good getting it.
But it's Spurs the kind of bogey team that the style that Arsenal don't like. It's very
they're
similar
not
to United,
bogey
isn't it?
teams, mate. Not the
Yeah,
Emirates.
it's true. It's true.
Don't ever say that again, Gums.
No, not bogey. Sorry, they got that style we don't like, where they're going to defend deep, and then they've got players up front that can hurt you.
I'll take it. We could get something against Liverpool. I'll take a point because they still got those players there. They are dangerous, and Jota loves a goal against us. I'll take a point there. Then Forest, was it Southampton away? That could be the draw.
Okay, yeah.
Forest at home.
Before that, we have got Leeds away. So I just said it in the wrong order. We have got Leeds away first, then Southampton
we
away.
sorted them out away last season. We'll do it again. So I don't know. I'll take 9 to 11 would be acceptable at least for me.
Yeah. What about you, Nigel? Where are you going?
I think we'll get 10 points personally. I see us. I can't see past Liverpool beating us because that's what's been happening for the last few seasons. It's for the boys to prove me wrong one year, and maybe I can start being confident going into this game, innit? But if history, regardless of what Liverpool are doing, history says that they beat us, innit? So I think they beat us again unless the boys pull up something.
We're at home in the Europa League between those 2 games.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, we're home games. Yeah, 3 home games. So we got Tottenham, Bodo, and then Liverpool all at the Emirates.
Okay.
And I think we dropped points at Southampton as well. I think we draw there. Like Silver was saying. So yeah, I think 10 points.
Yeah, I think that's a good return, to be honest with you. I'm with you on that. I think, but again, it's almost like the start of the season. We can get that first win against Tottenham. It sets you up well. Do you know what I mean? So even if you lose, I think that was the key. When we beat Palace,
the W against Spurs is essential, bro. Essential for many reasons. Deji being one of them.
Many.
100%. So I think we can do bits. And again, if we could get through that period of another 9 to 11 points, for me that's a strong return in there. And even if we was to lose, it's just beating Tottenham. And even if we were to lose to Southampton but beat Tottenham, I'd just say fair enough. But it's key. And again, sometimes you need to put the gap between your rivals. So us taking 3 points of Tottenham keeps them where they are. We go 3 points higher. So yeah, that's an important one. And like you're saying, Liverpool on form, you're thinking we should be able to give them a good game, but it's Liverpool in it. And
yeah, exactly. We should have beaten United on form, but so how that went.
Nah, that game still gets me vexed, man. Just talking about that reminds me up. But yeah, let's hopefully say in a month's time, in October, we're sitting here again discussing even after October, November, we're sitting here talking about Arteta's got another Manager of the Month award. That would be beautiful. But yeah, anything else you don't want to add to this stream before we bounce?
If Arteta wins Manager of the Month in October, bro, we're talking differently, innit? That's what I'm saying. In October specifically, just saying, I'm talking to people a little bit differently. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't see it though. But
yeah, if we beat Liverpool, if we beat Tottenham and beat Liverpool, and my birthday's in between that, what a birthday that's going to be,
mate.
Yeah, that'd be party time,
mate.
If we do that, I'm coming down to party with you. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
No, it's brilliant. But yeah, guys, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up for today. We've seen us twice today. That's twice too many, some would say.
Just quickly though,
Yeah, go for it.
September Manager of the Month. You have to base that on 2 games. Who's having it?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Real talk, mate.
That's what it
One
was. Easy
lost
picking.
one, so it can't be us.
It's probably
Yeah,
going to be
probably
Ten
gonna
Hag.
be.
Yeah.
Ten Hag, yeah. Anyway, enough said
Don't
about
want to
that.
give it to him. Don't want to give it
Okay,
to them.
we'll send it there.
Yeah.
We can't. Oh, we can't do this. No, we can't do it.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully they give it to someone else. But yeah, right, guys. On that note, we're gonna have to bounce out of here. But catch us on Sunday for the reaction. Nigel, I'm sure you lot on Tunnel TV are going wild on the weekend as usual.
Yeah, you know, man, you know it, bro. It's gonna be
Check them
madness.
out, people. Check them out.
Yeah, make sure you go and follow, man. There's some high energy in them rooms, boy.
Love it. Him, can there be the gang, mate? I tell you.
It's
Madness,
brilliant. It's
bro.
brilliant. But yeah, guys, appreciate you all, and we'll catch up on Sunday.